If you feel like the TikTok algorithm is ignoring your content, that might be because it actually is. Luckily, there is a simple way to fix this, and I'm going to be sharing the 4 things the top TikTok creators do to actually get noticed by the algorithm. And these 4 things are the difference between getting tens of thousands of views on every single video and being stuck at 200 views. But before these things will work for your account, you have to stop following some bad advice from TikTok gurus. First, you don't need to be posting 3 to 5 times per day in order to be successful on TikTok. I know that that's controversial because it's some of the most common advice that you're going to see on the platform, but the reason that these creators are telling you that is because in theory, if you post more frequently, you have more opportunities to go viral and you're going to get more exposure for your account. But if you're getting 200 views every single video, even if you post 5 times a day, okay, great. You got 1,000 views. But if you focus on the strategies that I'm teaching you in this video, you aren't going to have to post as frequently. It's going to be easier to stay consistent, and you are going to start getting at least 1,000 views on all of your videos, if not tens of thousands or 100,000 views. So don't feel like you just have to post high frequency in order to be successful, because that's what some guru told you. Next, posting times do not matter. Stop worrying about it, because the TikTok algorithm is going to show your video to the people most likely to watch it based on the topics of your video and their interests. And there are enough people online at any time of day, whether you're posting in the morning, the evening, or 2 a.m. to show your video to the first 200 people, which is the sample audience that the TikTok algorithm is always going to show views to in order to test your video. So it's not the posting time that matters. It's about whether people stop and watch your video and whether that video performs well, because it's the quality of your idea and the value of the piece of content that is going to determine how well it does, not the posting time or any other magic shortcut, which kind of brings me to my last piece of bad advice. There are no magic shortcuts. That it's not going to be the hashtags. It's not going to be using a trending sound on silent while you talk over it. There is no gimmicky trick that you can use to make your videos perform better. TikTok is the greatest meritocracy when it comes to an algorithm. And that's just like a big word for saying that your content is judged based on the quality of the content and whether people respond to it. Do they like it? Do they watch it? That is the only thing that matters. So now that we have that bad advice out of the way, here are the 4 things that you can start doing just like the top TikTok creators in order to grow your account fast. The first is research and testing. If you listen to advice from the people that are really crushing it on TikTok or YouTube, really any platform, they are in their analytics. They're looking at the data. They're paying attention to what is working, and they're letting that guide all of their future content. And when you're new and you don't have that information, you definitely need to be testing, but you also need to be researching what are the other creators in your niche doing. You need to search out those things. And this doesn't need to be complicated. All you need to do is start following the creators that already have the audience of people that you want to be following you on your account. Then once you follow them, you want to go study what they're posting about. Go to each person and see what are the topics that they post about all the time. You're going to notice that there's 3 to 4 things that they talk about consistently. Then you want to, once you've done that for all the creators, what are the things that they are all posting about? If there's a commonality between all of them, that's a really good sign that it's something that you should be talking about as well. And you're not just going to become like a carbon copy, like a clone of that creator. You need to be talking about those topics and then letting your unique personality and experience shine through. That way you can attract the people that are attracted to like your style or vibe or whatever it is, or your unique way of explaining these concepts. But you still need to figure out what are those topics that the people are interested in. You should also be going to those same creators and studying their outlier videos, which are just the videos that have way more views than they normally get. Like, what are the hooks, the headlines, the specific idea, like the way they start that video. You want to take special note of those outliers because you're going to want to make your version of that same video. And that's a really great way to get started early on when you're like, man, I got to post every single day, but I'm not sure what I should be posting. But that's just going to get you started. Once you post and you start testing all of these things, you need to be reviewing your analytics. You need to look at your actual numbers. Don't focus on the videos that flopped. Don't focus on the videos with 200, 300, 500 views. Everybody is going to have that at the beginning. So many people think that they're in jail, but they're not in jail. They're just not creating content that's good enough yet because they haven't started creating content that's going to make somebody stop scrolling on the feed and then like retention, like actually keeping them on the video. I'm going to share some tactical things you can do later on in this video about that. But if that's the reason that you're stuck at 200 views, instead focus on the videos that worked. Let your successful videos, the ones that go viral, the ones that get the most views, let those guide your content choices in the future. You need to do this because the second thing you need is to start developing your repeatable content. Now, this is going to be different for every person and every niche, but it makes it so much easier to be a consistent creator and to grow faster. This isn't something that the big creators are ever telling you or that you're really noticing that they're doing, but they all have this small batch of repeatable content that drives a good 80% of their growth. They just know that when they talk about a particular topic, or they use a certain hook, or they use a style or format for their video, that it works every single time. And so they start repeating those things over and over and over. And so then it's not like they have to come up with new ideas all the time. They just have these proven things that they use every single week, and then they let their creative juices flow and they go create something new when inspiration strikes. And a lot of times that stuff can really take off. But you need to be using this repeatable content. It's going to make it easier for you to stay consistent and stick with this as a creator in the long term, but it's also going to allow you to grow faster, because when you have something that works, it's going to work over and over and over again and give you that steady, consistent growth. So a couple of ways that I like to use repeatable content is, number one, just remaking your best videos. Like if you had a video that absolutely crushed, just pull your phone out and record a new version of the exact same video. I also like to create sequel videos based on my popular content, where I'm actually showing the next step or going a little bit deeper, or responding to a comment that was coming up repeatedly on that. So I know it's a topic somebody's interested in. I'm just taking it to a new level. And then there's creating a content series, which is basically take the ideas of your proven video, and instead of it being like a list of the 4 tips or whatever, turn those into 4 different videos where you go way more in depth on each one. And the great thing about this is that maybe not all of them work, but if one of them hits, people are then going to go dig around on your profile to find part 1, part 3, part 4, whichever one that they missed. And of course, my favorite, which is just reposting your viral videos. You can actually use something like snaptic.app to download your viral videos without the watermark and then repost them after the original video has kind of started to lose steam. And this is how you can kind of like supercharge your growth, because let's say that you got 500,000 views on a video, and then you're able to post it 3 more times and you get 100,000 views, 600,000 views, and 300,000 views. Now you've just taken this amazing viral video and you've multiplied the growth that you got from it. The next thing these top creators do is they create consistent, valuable content. And to me, there's really 3 key components to this. And the first one is that you need to become better at conveying the idea in your video. If you really want your videos to thrive, if you want to get the big views, if you want people to be saving your videos and commenting and engaging, then you need to go into every single video with the goal of helping them get a result or take the next step. And a lot of creators mess this up because they try to hide the ball for their paid programs and all of that kind of stuff. But you should be giving everything away for free in your content. And if you really know your audience and you know their pain points and their problems and things that they are trying to figure out, and you are talking about those things constantly and trying to help them, that's where that repeatable content comes in, then you are going to be much better at conveying those ideas. You're going to learn it because you're going to be explaining them in so many different ways. And eventually you are going to find out what resonates with your audience. And you're going to get really good at taking these complex topics like how to grow on TikTok and simplifying them into actionable steps that actually help the person on the other end of the camera get a result. So that's the first part of the valuable content. But the second part is that your videos actually need to be seen. And I can't tell you how many times I have somebody come in here in the comments of these videos and they're like, Mike, I create amazing content, but I'm stuck at 200 views. I can't do anything. The algorithm hates me. I know this stuff is good. And you know what? Sometimes their content actually sucks. But other times, your content might be really good and you just haven't developed the skills yet for it to get discovered, to make the algorithm show it to all the people that need to know about your genius. And so part of creating valuable content is understanding, how do I get them to stop scrolling? How do I hook the viewer? You need to put a lot of time into developing your ideas, into creating headlines that make them stop scrolling. And there's really like 3 ways to do that. You have the verbal hook, which is what you say in the first 3 seconds of your video, but you also have visual and text hooks. Like you can put text on the screen that grabs somebody's attention, that engages them, that makes them curious, makes them want to watch. But you can also use your background and motion and color and different things like that in order to get people's attention. And that should be a huge focus for you, because if they don't stop and watch your video, they'll never discover how awesome you are. And the third part of the consistent, valuable content is just being yourself, being passionate about what you're talking about and the person on the other end of the camera that you are trying to help. I mean, it is is totally cool if you want to be a full-time creator and that necessitates you having to make money from your content and build a business for it from it. I am all in favor of that. You should be doing that, but you have to be in it for the person watching you. And beyond just like caring about those people, you have to show who you are. Earlier on, I told you about doing the research and finding the top creators and figuring out the common topics, what their outlier videos are, and making your versions of those. But the key there is your version, the thing that makes you unique, your voice, your style. You have to put your spin on it. You can't just become them. You're trying to become known for the same thing they are, for solving the same problem maybe, but you have your own ways of doing it. And a lot of the value and the loyal audience comes from your unique personality and people connecting with you as a person. And it's not easy. You aren't going to know what to do at first. I'm still trying to figure it out. All you can do is just try to be as natural as possible and get used to being in front of the camera. Because guess what? It's not natural to be in front of the camera, especially if you're not that kind of person. I'm not. But eventually, as you practice and as you do it more, you start to figure out what works for you. You start to figure out whether you need to script or if you just need to kind of wing it based on some bullets. Like, you're going to figure that out, but it comes with practice. So be patient and give yourself the time and the opportunity to figure it out. Luckily, you're posting every single day on TikTok, so you're going to get plenty of practice. Finally, you shouldn't just be making videos on TikTok. You should be building a community around your account. You want to create a place where everybody that's interested in the things that you talk about can come hang out and learn together and ask questions and get to know each other and go on this journey together. And it's not that hard to do. One of the easiest ways that you can do this is to just pay attention to your comments. Reply to everybody that comments on your videos. Use this really cool feature that TikTok has where you can actually create a video reply to somebody's question that they post in the comments. Not only is that going to make it easier for you to create amazing content, but then that content goes public. It goes to the For You page, attracts new people. And if one person is asking you a question in the comments of your videos, then that means that there are dozens of other people that already follow you that are interested and have that same question. And so now you're helping people at just like a deeper level and you're connecting with them. Like you're creating this loyalty because you helped them personally by taking 2 seconds to respond to a comment or taking 1 minute to record a video explaining a concept in more depth for them specifically. And the more you do this, you create this culture where people start to engage and your videos perform better. And now you're learning because people feel comfortable engaging and asking you questions because you're helping them. You're actually going to learn, like, what are they interested in? What do they want to know? What are they struggling with? And this is going to help you make better content. And then it just all builds on itself and starts to snowball. But it's also teaching you the language that your people are using. It's helping you understand the conversation that's already happening inside of their head, which helps you make more of that valuable content. But it also helps you to build out your business and to build out your funnels and get people to move further down and eventually buy from you. And you can further build community by utilizing all the amazing tools that TikTok has provided for us as creators. You have the ability to pin 3 videos to the top of your account. And so you can take the most valuable content that you have that everybody should see and just pin it there. So when somebody discovers you for the first time and they go to your account, they're going to watch those things and get to know you and see your best stuff right out of the gate. You can also take all of the things that your community is saying to you in the comments and you can start to create playlists around those things. So now those common questions, those FAQs that everyone has or the big problems everyone's dealing with, you have a playlist for each one of those and it allows them to binge your content to go real deep on solving that thing. This is how you build trust. This is how you build community around your content and really start to grow and be able to build a following and a business around your videos. Now, if you like these strategies, this is just scratching the surface. I actually have this video that I want you to check out where I share like the 19 things that I wish I had known when I first started on TikTok. I think you're really going to like it and you should click the video if you want to go deeper down this rabbit hole.